A step forward for a Barnstable dog park. The Rec Commission outlines its priorities for parks, fields, and beaches, and a former New England Patriot stops by Barnstable High School. All on this episode of Barnstable Today. It's Tuesday, October 2nd, 2012. I'm Sarah Colvin. Barnstable High School football coach Chris Whidden is named the New England Patriots Coach of the Week. Today, Andre Tippett, former New England Patriot and Hall of Famer, was at Barnstable High School to present the award. The Red Raiders football team got a short time away from class today to head to the gym to meet Tippett and watch as Coach Whidden was presented with the award. Barnstable's most recent big win against the top-rated Everett football team sparked the award. The Red Raiders came out on top in that rainy Friday night, beating Everett 13-7 in double overtime. We'll have video and interviews from today's event on Friday's edition of Barnstable This Morning. Well, it appears plans to create a dog park in Barnstable are moving forward. Several Cape towns like Falmouth and Provincetown have been successful in creating a park. Barbara Capolina and Barb Chester of the Committee for Barnstable Dog Parks were before the Recreation Commission Monday evening, seeking permission to use land at Hathaway's Pond for a park. Chester gives a brief overview of the plan.
Back in February, March of 2011, so we've been going for over a year now. Board of Directors, council, committee, active, very active. We're doing very well with fundraisers. Everything that we've done so far has really been small fundraisers. We haven't gone out after any large corporations yet, obviously, until we have the site approved, but we've done great with our simple car washes and everything. We're doing very well with that. We do have our 501c3, so that's going to help obviously get even larger donations once we get going with the approval of the piece of land. I think some of the concerns, and I wasn't at the last meeting, so but where the parking was one of the issues we talked about, and we know that it's important to keep the parking area away from the beach parking so that you're not getting people trying to park in the lot and pull down and kind of get into the beach without paying. So one of the things we're working on, and it's in the proposal, is a steward program where we teach volunteers to kind of look out for that sort of thing. And if we need to keep people there on some of the weekends in July and August, you're the busiest time down at the beach, just to keep people so that they're not trying to park there and walk down without paying their fee.
Clark further explains the steward program.
What Falmouth is doing in their dog park. So they had, we call it a training program with volunteers to teach them to try to rotate schedules so that they could go and check on the property and make sure trash isn't being put where it's not supposed to be, people aren't using it for other things than just the dog park. And also, as I said, watching parking during those busy times in the summer so that people aren't parking there and walking down. So it's really just getting the community more involved. And we know that there's plenty of interest out there. That we had a car wash 2 weeks ago, and people actually drove into the parking lot and said, I don't want my car washed, but here's a check. So there's definitely interest out there. People really want this. We know we have support behind us once we get it going. So we know that there'll be a good volunteer base to tap into. Falmouth has definitely had good success. Provincetown has had success, and we definitely want to be the next park.
The Recreation Commission asked Capolina and Chester a number of questions, including how the Dog Park Committee plans to fund maintenance to the planned park.
We set out with this, and we continue to plan on ongoing maintenance of it, which is fairly minimal for the dog park. But we would continue our fundraising with a maintenance budget and a perpetual fund. Yes, that is our plan.
And we also have memberships as well, so we're sustaining those annually. It's $20 a year for an individual or $100 lifetime. So those with renewals, and hopefully that grows as well over time. So there's another source of income there.
The Recreation Commission gave its nod to the organization's plans. We'll keep you posted on any new developments. Mark Germani and Russell Jacobs of the Osterville Village Association also went before the board Monday to talk about the future of athletic fields at the Osterville Bay School.
We're now at the stage where we want to let the rec board know that they have the full support of OVA. And we have come up with essentially a basic wish list of how we would like to proceed and what the fields we would like the fields to encompass, essentially. And we are at essentially a crossroads now, because I know we've got to work together before we go to CPC to ask for the funds. So at this stage, we just want to open up the lines of communication and for informational purposes and see what we need to do when we go back to the OVA. And I would imagine, I don't know how familiar everyone is on the board with the fields that we're discussing. I'd imagine, you know, everyone's is in agreement that we need to do something there.
Yeah, that was part of our tour. You know, we went around villages to all the facilities
Okay.
and toured the facilities, so we're well aware of what's over there.
Of what's over there and what essentially is
Right.
not there, so.
Exactly.
The commission says the ball fields at the school are part of the priorities they've listed following a recent tour of town. Those priorities form the next part of the commission's meeting. The commission has completed its tour of Barnstable's parks, beaches, and other leisure areas, and a report has been crafted. Commission member Renee King outlined priorities.
The first facility is the Craigville Beach House. This is a historic location in the town with significant use, not only by the Barnstable citizens at large, but by our tourists. And this was one of the facilities we visited earlier in our tour, and it had several significant safety issues, and that is what got our immediate attention. Not only did we see this as an opportunity, as something to be funded by the Recreation Commission, but we also saw an opportunity to look at this historical landmark and potentially look at it from a historical restoration perspective. So we felt that we could look at it both from those two CPC funding opportunities. The second and third, I would say they were very close to being tied, and that would be the Lombard Field and what we were just talking about, the Osterville Village Fields and Play area. The fourth area, I would say in particular because of some of the very noticeable safety issues, was the skate park in Hyannis, and that location representing the village of Hyannis. The fifth was the Lopes Field in Hyannis. And the sixth we've talked about this evening, and that's the Marston's Mills Elementary School that has a platform not only for the Little League organization to partner and bring that to its fruition, but also the idea that with the input from the village of Marston's Mills could be a multi-purpose facility. The seventh area is the Veterans Beach Park Playground, and we saw a lot of potential here because this is probably one of the facilities that our visitors use most actively and has one of the broadest diverse populations in terms of usage. And we saw not only an opportunity to enhance the playground, the parking lot, which is in need of attention, but with all of our military participants coming back home, that we saw a tremendous opportunity to have a wall of honor that represents all the bodies of the military. So we saw some potential here to really take a recreational location and really serve a very diverse population. So the Veterans Beach Park, playground, etc. The eighth and ninth locations address the Barnstable Village in Katuitt, and it's the disrepair of the tennis courts. And we saw 3 tennis courts that were not in a usable condition, and thought that maybe we could skin more than one cat by restoring more than one location and get more for our cost.
Members decided they wanted time to mull over the report. They'll continue discussion at the next meeting, which is set for October 11th. With Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Colvin.